I found my son unconscious on the bathroom floor. His body was curled, skin pale against the cold tiles. His lips trembled as though he had whispered something before slipping under. My wife stood above him, arms folded. Her voice cut through the silence, flat, detached. "He's faking. He wants attention. I just disciplined him." Her words hit me harder than the sight of my son's motionless frame. I dialed 911. My hands didn't shake, but inside, something broke clean in half. The sirens came quick. The officers stepped in with the paramedics. They checked my boy, lifted him onto the stretcher. He stirred faintly, alive. Relief should have flooded me. It didn't. Because when the paramedics looked at her, the officer's hand went to his gun. He pointed at my wife, voice unsteady. "We know her." That sentence, that pause, that look, something I had never considered twisted in my chest. Who exactly had I been living with? The hospital called it stress-induced collapse. My son would recover. He was weak but safe. Still, the image of the officer's face haunted me. The way his hand trembled when he aimed the gun. Not at me, not at some intruder, at her. On the ride home, silence sat between us. My wife stared out the window. Not once did she ask how our son was. When we entered the house, she poured herself wine. Calm, almost rehearsed. I asked her quietly, "What did they mean?" She blinked slowly, lips curving into a faint smirk. "Police are idiots, probably a mistake." A mistake? That word echoed long after she disappeared upstairs. I began noticing the details. The locked drawer she always kept shut. The way her phone never left her pocket. The late nights when she claimed she was running. Always running, but never out of breath. And the boy, my boy, who sometimes looked at her with silent dread. Pieces aligned, sharp edges cutting my denial. I didn't confront her, not yet. I observed, listened, collected. At night, when she slept heavily, I searched. Her drawer held papers with names blacked out, letters I didn't recognize. But one detail stood clear, a seal stamped with a government insignia. Her phone was worse. Burned messages, numbers never saved. Each line read like fragments of a life I was never meant to see. "You can't stay there forever. He doesn't know, does he? Keep the boy quiet." I ordered a DNA test for my son, quietly. A strand of his hair, a swab of my own. Days passed in silence. She moved around the house with her cold elegance, never knowing I was already peeling her apart, piece by piece. I spoke less, smiled when she looked, played the role of loyal husband. Inside, I counted down the days until the truth arrived. Suspicion became certainty. I stopped seeing her as my wife. She was something else, a mask stretched too tight over secrets. The envelope arrived in a plain package. I locked the door before opening it. The result was brutal in its simplicity. 0% probability of paternity. He wasn't mine. The air stilled around me. I stared at the paper, reading it again, as though repetition could alter the fact. But truth is merciless. When she came home, I was waiting at the table. The envelope lay in front of me, untouched now, but glowing like fire. She saw it, paused, her face drained of color. I said nothing. Her hands shook before her voice did. You went behind my back?" Still silence. "You don't understand." I slid the paper toward her, calm, deliberate. Her breath hitched. She clutched the report like it might dissolve if she held tight enough. Then the tears, the pleading, the frantic explanations that spilled without coherence. I only watched, detached, cold. Because now I understood why the officer had known her, why my son had flinched under her gaze. She wasn't a stranger to betrayal. She was betrayal itself. I didn't yell. I didn't strike. I didn't give her the fire she wanted to extinguish. Instead, I stood, picked up my keys. Her voice cracked. "Where are you going?" "To tell the boy the truth." She collapsed into sobs, But I walked away, each step measured, each breath steady. The revenge wasn't in destroying her. It was in the absence of me, in letting her drown in the silence she had carved. I didn't need to expose her to the world. I only needed to show her she was already exposed. At my parents' house, my son slept peacefully. I watched him, realizing he was both victim and miracle. He wasn't mine by blood, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that she had lost. Not through rage, not through violence, through truth. I had peeled her mask away and left her with nothing but her own reflection. The police would deal with whatever past she had buried. I didn't need to know every detail. I had enough. As I closed the door to my son's room, I whispered to myself, steady, final, she's no one now. And for the first time in years, I felt free.